Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So earlier this year, I put a little poll up on my community page on YouTube and I asked what kind of videos you guys want to see in regards to astrology next. And progressions or the progressed moon and compatibility in astrology were both equal with 34% of people interested in those. And the other topics had much less. So I thought today I'll do the progression or progressed moon mostly. I might mention a couple of things about progressions in general, but I really want to focus on the progressed moon for this video. Now, I've been studying astrology for 20 years now, and I've been a practicing astrologer for about 10 years now. So in my experience, and I've studied it over a long period of time, is the progressed moon is very, very important. Just like how you have your natal chart, which is a blueprint of your birth chart. Sorry, I got distracted by something. So you have your birth chart that's like a blueprint of your potential in this life, your personality, and certain aspects of life and how things, are imprinted for your soul contract on this earth. And, that's there for you in terms of the core elements of, your personality, your moon sign, your emotions, all that stuff. But the thing with progressions is it shows how your life is evolving and the potential. Same with the transits as well. The transits will trigger certain things to occur in your life. And, the way we handle those things, we grow from them and, our life changes and all that sort of stuff. But with the progressions, especially the progressed moon, we see the evolution of our emotions and changes in our emotional life. And, often things with the moon are to do with family, mothering, nurturing, your emotions in a deeper sense, your sense of comfort, how you find comfort. And it's a very strong indicator of where you're at emotionally through the themes related to that progressed moon phase. So how to find your progressed moon in your natal chart in terms of, where it's at right now. So you've got your natal chart here. So I'm just giving an example with my own chart. So my chart's here. Instead of just going, I would normally look at, maybe just, I usually look at natal transits and progressions combined. But for this video, I will pull up the natal and the progressed chart. And this is in astro.com. I prefer astro.com. Prefer to use astro.com, always have. So this is my chart here. So we're looking at the moon. So here we have the progressed moon. So hopefully you can see up here on my little cursor, hopefully it's showing up here as I'm just circling it with a little cursor hand. If not, it's up in the 11th house. It's the green moon symbol in the sign of Libra next to my progressed Pluto, which is pretty much right on my natal Pluto because it moves incredibly slowly. So we don't look at progressed Pluto at all. We're looking for this video at the progressed moon. So the moon, the progressed moon moves 1 degree per month. Okay, so right now my progressed moon's in Libra. It's in my 11th house. So for me as an Aquarius moon, so my natal moon, if you see over here, down here at the bottom of the chart in the 4th house, that's my natal moon, 22 degrees of Aquarius. That is my natal moon. It's an air sign. So for me, the progressed moon in Aquarius is very harmonious for me in general because obviously it's an air sign. So you want to look at things like that when you're looking at your progressed moon. If you have, say, a natal moon in Scorpio and your progressed moon is, say, in Aquarius, you might find that more difficult because as a Scorpio moon natally, you're used to feeling things very, very deeply. And the Aquarius moon may force you to detach somewhat, not force you, but make you more inclined, I should say, to be more detached from your emotions, which could cause some inner conflict because, an Aquarius moon and a Scorpio moon do create a square aspect. So you can think of it like that. Now, that's a bit more of a dynamic way of, more advanced way of analyzing some of the aspects of the progressed moon. But in a basic sense, what you want to look at with your progressed moon is what house is it in? Okay, so the house that your progressed moon is shows up the areas of your life that the progressed moon energy, your emotional energy for that phase of life is going to be focused around those themes. So also important is what planets you have in that house that your progressed moon may go past. So I have Pluto in my 11th house, so my progressed moon at some point, it's currently at 4 degrees of Libra. So my natal Pluto is at 9 degrees of Libra. So We can say because the progressed moon moves 1 degree per month, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about 5 months. It will contact my progressed moon will contact my natal Pluto in the 11th house. So I can expect some possibly intense emotions around something to do with groups, friendships, some change, possibly even to do with the way I'm communicating with people online, because the 11th house is the Aquarius house. So you can analyze all those things, seeing when the progressed moon contacts something in a house. And what I've observed is that and a lot of astrologers will also, say the same thing, is that the progressed moon is very important in terms of your emotional evolution. So, obviously for this phase of my life, I'm learning about relationships on a deeper level, on another level. I'm a natal Sun and Mercury in the 7th house, so I'm very other orientated. Obviously my work, I deal with, customers, clients, one-on-one, doing readings all the time, looking at people's charts, giving them that information, and a lot of information and knowledge that I've gathered over the years. I'm sharing that, with my client base. So yeah, that's how that strong influence of relating is very much in my chart. So for me, it's very comfortable, I feel, to have a progressed moon in Libra. My chart being very much ruled by Venus, because my Sun and Mercury is in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. And yes, I'm a Scorpio rising, which is Pluto ruled, but I do have a strong Venus theme in my chart. So the progressed moon in Libra is very Venusian feeling for me. It's very laid back. It's quite an easygoing energy, and it's a bit more of a social energy. So I'm feeling more social than I was when my progressed moon a few months back now was in Virgo, which was much more analytical, much more in my head, and much more kind of very work focused to an extreme, like to the details of everything, and a bit of a workaholic energy. So yeah, it's always interesting to see. I would, for example, knowing the moon placement is very important. Like, for example, the moon's in full in Scorpio. So when you have your progressed moon in Scorpio or in the 8th house, which is the full house, the Scorpio house, you could expect your life to have some difficult aspects to deal with, some confronting or issues, or some empowerment or power struggles with others. So just drink some water. And so keep in mind, the progressed moon, as I said, it moves 1 degree per month. It usually spends around 2 years roughly in a house. I use a Placidus system. I do not use equal house or whole sign format for the chart. I find that Placidus is a lot more nuanced. So, and I have experimented with whole sign in the past. It's a bit too simplistic. With Placidus, you get to see more nuances and more details. So, and it's definitely much more insightful when you're really wanting to go deep into charts. And I personally do, being a Scorpio rising, I love to delve really deeply into stuff. So, all right. So with the progressed moon, look at in your natal chart where you have your progressed moon. If you'd like to post questions below, feel free. I will answer, if you want to say, oh, my progressed moon's in this house, what does that mean? I might just run through a few to give you an idea. So if I cover your particular house, obviously then hopefully, other people that I don't cover might ask questions. So I've got my progressed moon in the 11th house. I'll talk about that. So progressed moon in Libra, specifically in the 11th house, very airy energy, very focused on communication. I have been doing like a lot more communication. I'm always communicating with people as it is, because I'm very busy with my work, and just it seems to be always a lot of communications in my life, a lot of messages in my world. But I feel like it's been like that for a while for me, which would relate to also that progressed moon having been previously in Virgo, because that's also to do with the communication energy. So that makes sense. I think prior to that, when my progressed moon was in Leo, it was a bit different. It was more focused on pushing forward with my business, my creative ideas, and implementing them. It was a bit more focused. My child was younger then, so there was a bit more focus on, when you have a younger child under the age of 8, it's much more demanding. So he's getting a bit older now, so he's a bit more independent. So I feel like when my progressed moon was in Leo, it was much more focused on parenting as a big focus of my life, and my business as well. Anyway, so progressed moon going to the 12th house. So after I have progressed moon in the 11th, it's actually in about, let's see, 8, 9, 10 months from now, roughly, it's going to go into the 12th house for you. So that's obviously going to be a bit more of a secluded time, or a time of pulling back my energy, maybe less communications in a very intensive way with the outside world. I might go through more of a spiritual phase, or a bit more of a quiet phase of life. You know, when the moon goes in the 12th house, there can be a lot of changes in your life that are very distant, a lot of letting go, a lot of releasing. There could be some very spiritual changes that are very powerful for me, because I also have Uranus in Scorpio exalted in the 12th house with my North Node in the 12th house. So there could be some events that are very destined that occur when my progressed moon goes over those placements. So just in general, I'm just going to mention the angles. So if your progressed moon is going into the 1st house and coming out of the 12th house, it's a very key time for you. So regardless of what sign it's in, when the progressed moon comes out of the 12th house, you'll find that you feel a sense of release, like you're finally like almost being reborn into the outside world. And it's like new opportunities, new advancement on your path, and feeling like people are seeing you more. Like when your progressed moon's in the 12th house, you can feel more hidden or unseen, or that you're not being acknowledged, or you're not as active in the external world. You're kind of more behind the scenes. And a lot of karmic issues could be coming up when the progressed moon's in the 12th. But as it emerges out of the 12th into the 1st house, it's a bit more of an empowering phase, and it's a bit more of a push to the external world of, okay, I want to maybe rebuild my life, or recreate my path, or start a new path, or something along those lines. So it's also about your identity, and coming out of a time where you may have felt some identity loss, because often the 12th house is about self-sacrifice, or really focusing on some cause or spiritual path that has more of an element of self-sacrifice, which is the Pisces house. So it makes sense, and sometimes when the moon's in the 12th, you can go into, retreat. It can be hospitals, institutions, it doesn't have to be, obviously, but it can be those things. So anyway, moon in the 12th house progressed is much more, it's a better time, because it's the Aries house. It's more active, it's more out in the world, it's more creating your path, manifesting your life. Progressed moon in the 2nd house, you'd be more focused on your material resources, earning money. Money can come in quite strongly with progressed moon in the 2nd house. You'd be more focused on what your values are and what your worth is, and focusing on attaining a sense of self-worth through how you're earning your money through your life. Choices related to anything that brings about a feeling of value to you. And you may appreciate those things in life that are more simplistic, because it is a Taurus house. So you may appreciate like spending time in nature, simple things in life, focusing on appreciation. That's very much a Taurian theme. Being more in touch with your physical senses, your physical body, health and wellness of the physical body, and all that sort of thing. It's also a throat chakra, so it can be to do with expressing your truth and being more honest about, who you are with other people and that sort of thing. Skipping ahead, I'm going to go to the next angular house, which is the 4th house. So progressed moon in the 4th house very much brings a focus to family, home, pregnancy, childbirth, child rearing, parenting, parents. Big focus on home and family. You may want to spend more time, more quality time with family members. You can relocate as well. So say, for example, you were born in a city and you moved away for a number of years, or however long it was. When your progressed moon returns to the 4th house, you can actually come back home. That's a common thing that happens. So you can return back home to your place of origin, especially if your natal moon's in the 4th house like mine. That can happen. Or if you have other strong placements in the 4th house, that can definitely happen. If you've got Uranus in the 4th house and your progressed moon conjuncts Uranus, there would most likely be a home move or a change of, the dynamic within the home. There could be people moving out, someone moving in, unstable energies in the home for that time period. But keep in mind that when the progressed moon conjuncts a planet in your natal chart, that influence will last for approximately 3 months. 1 month on the exact degree, so concentrated for 1 month, but orbing in for a month, you'll feel the energy. It'll be exact for another month, and then another month as it moves off. But that really 1 month for the exactness, but give it 3 months for the energies in general. Progressed moon in the 7th house, very likely to meet someone that you would have as a new relationship, a new partnership, a new contract, new job opportunities, possibly more favor from people of influence around you. more focus with connection with the public and interaction with other people, much more needing to interact, to more of a sense like I need to feel connected to people. I want to feel like I'm communicating with people, and a strong focus on your relationships in general, depending on the sign, decisions around relationships. If it's a dual sign like Pisces or Gemini, there could be, you know, a new commitment. If it's Capricorn, progressed moon in Capricorn in the 7th house, or progressed moon in Leo in the 7th house, it can be more of a commitment energy or loyalty issues coming up. But there's definitely going to be more of a focus on your relationships with the progressed moon in the 7th. You could definitely meet a new soulmate then, or someone important comes into your life like that. Progressed moon on the midheaven, very, very important time for success and opportunities in the career and advancement in the career sector. So that can be a very opportune time. It can be a time of advancement. It can be a time of public recognition for work that you've done and efforts that you've put in. So, yeah, so as I said, it's a pretty interesting area of astrology, the progressions. You know, the other progressions are very slow moving. So for example, a progressed sun, it only moves 1 degree per year. So that's extremely slow. But with the progressed sun, it is important because your progressed sun could sit on your progressed Pluto for a whole year. So that's going to be a big life-changing time if something like that happens. Or your progressed sun could exit a house that it's been. You can see my progressed sun up here. It's been the 8th house for a very long time in Cancer. So it's been quite an intense number of years, obviously, with that there, and it's been there for a long time. So, but it's slowly inching out of the 8th house. It will get into the 9th house. My Venus has progressed just recently out of the 8th house. And again, Venus is very slow moving. The progressions very similar to the sun, about 1 degree per year. So I personally prefer to focus on mostly the progressed moon and, of course, the progressed sun if it's going to leave a house, enter a house, you know, which is the same thing, or contact a personal planet. With the progressed moon, you can also look at the transits to your progressed moon. That's also a factor. So if transiting Saturn is going to hit your progressed moon, well, that's very important. Any of the other planets contacting your progressed moon, mostly conjunctions, but also you may feel trines and other aspects as well. It won't be as strong, but you'll definitely feel it. I find that progressed moon conjuncting a natal placement is also very powerful. So progressed moon conjunct Saturn, progressed moon conjunct Pluto, anything like that, progressed moon conjunct Neptune, you know, square Mars, conjunct Mars, things like that are also strong. With other progressions, say if you had progressed Mars move to conjunct your descendant point, that's going to cause some aggravation in your relationships as well. Or, you know, progressed Mars conjunct your ascendant, or even square your ascendant, is going to make your life very, very busy and a lot going on for you. So those other progressions are important, but as I said, the outer planets no, because they move so slowly it doesn't even really factor. But the progressed moon, the progressed sun, progressed Venus and Mars, yeah, sure, you can look at those. But if you're new to astrology, you don't want to get too complicated with it. If you're new to astrology, I'd say, you know, if you understand your natal chart and reading your natal chart, then look at progressions and follow the progressed moon every now and then and see what it's up to, because it does move that 1 degree per month. So it's pretty quick, really. But it is such an interesting experience to notice your progressed moon and notice how, you know, you do feel different. You know, progressed moon Capricorn, for example, is notoriously known to be difficult, just like progressed moon in Scorpio is. Progressed moon in the 8th house can also be difficult as well, because it's a Scorpio house. Progressed moon, as I said, in the 10th house, well, I was talking about the midheaven before, the 10th house can be a lot of hard work, but you can also have a lot of success. You can reap what you sow quite well. Progressed moon in the 5th house, you know, you could have a child, or romantic interests become very prominent. Your hobbies become very prominent at that time, or you're more interested in pursuing things that fuel you with passion, you know, things that make you feel good during the progressed moon in the 5th house. So it's definitely an area to look at, and it's very interesting, and it helps you to see, you know, how you're feeling in general and what area of your chart, what house that it's your progressed moon and your emotions are now learning from this new phase. So it's all very interesting, and I just hope that that has helped you understand a little bit more about the progressed moon if you're interested. And I'm planning to do another video when I have time on on compatibility in astrology. I do have a very old video that I did years and years ago, which is still on my channel. You could look up compatibility in astrology if you're interested in my channel, and you can find that video. But I want to do a different video where I'm actually looking at people's charts that have been married for a long time and looking at specific indicators in marriage, for example, or long-term commitment that line up, that show you what these certain aspects are that are very common in marriage charts or commitment charts, people that have been in relationships for a long time. All right, guys, that was the video. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.